3 valuable tips you can share with us, Ingrid?
Sure. Well, as I previously mentioned, a lot of couples are struggling a little bit during the lockdown and I guess beyond. So that's relating to anger. So I do recommend anger check-in. So check whether, little annoyances here and there can lead to frustration and then eventually lead to anger if you don't resolve it immediately. Anger is part of the roller coaster journey of relationship. But then, this anger, a lot of the time has the shame and guilt energy on it. So people don't want to talk about it. People just want to either brush it off or they completely run from an angry person, right? But if we want to understand that person that is angry, maybe like, for example, your partner may be angry about something. Maybe their childhood has influenced them. So they observe maybe their parents, quite explosive back then, or maybe their main caregivers during growing up, they may be quite explosive. So they're just absorbing and observing during childhood, and they practice it now in their adulthood. Maybe their past adulthood experience, say at school they were bullied, at work, previous work they were bullied. So it scarred them, and then now they're in the position of power, either a father or a mother, perhaps. Then now they are the powerful person. They can bully someone else. Sometimes they don't realize this. Yeah, it's not in their awareness that they end up bullying someone else because previously they were bullied. And maybe their inner child is throwing a tantrum because this little person inside of us, parts of us, not being heard, not being validated enough. So that's a maybe. So you just need to check in, which one is maybe the cause of this anger and frustration, right? Secondly, I suggest for you to communicate openly and calmly, find the relaxed time and space, and to minimize your partner to go to their nothing box. Typically, men love to go to their nothing box, whereas there's nothing in the head. And they go there frequently. And, with great pleasure, especially if they don't like the topic that you're talking about. If they're not interested, they just escape to their nothing box. So find, a relaxed sort of like state and communicate openly and calmly. Yeah. And then the last one is to remove shame and guilt. I mentioned briefly about shame and guilt before. People tend to avoid talking about it, but then with the help of a professional person such as a relationship coach, healing this emotion and remove the shame and guilt associated with it will definitely sweeten and deepen your relationship. So those are my 3 tips.